We're joined by Ng Gim Choo, your founder, managing director of EtonHouse schools. You've got about 20, mainly in Singapore, but also in China, Indonesia, and now you're moving into India. What has been the basic business model for the schools?
We are so particular about quality, the standard, and I think that the ethos is that we want to be the very best. And the philosophy is always focus on children. Children come first. And this has always been our formula. Whenever there is conflict, whenever there's any decision need to be made, it's always based on children come first, and then our staff comes second, and then the shareholders come third. And we have been able to follow this policy principle consistently for the past 15 years. And we think it's a very right thing to do, because if you focus on bottom line, focus on profit, you tend to cut corner, and then you affect the quality. And we focus on the other way, you look at the quality, and we feel that once you build your name, your reputation, the money will come in.
And it's a sort of personalised approach, individual approach?
Yes, it's our
fun, essentially.
Yeah, it's the curriculum, focus on children interests, and learning is so much fun and enjoyable experience. And because children will learn best when they're having fun. And I think we also invest in a lot of professionally qualified teachers, and we invest in their professional development, their training, and we also give teachers space to do what they like to do. And you find when teachers are passionate about teaching, and you give them some space to do what they like to do, and they will do things that surprise you. So I think this has been something we have been doing.
You come from an accounting background. How was it then that you switched into education?
Since graduation, I work as an accountant. I work as an auditor in an international accounting firm. I spent about 8 years with an accounting firm. And my husband had a posting to work in London. So I was so excited. I said, well, I would like to resign and go with him, because I think we have then 2 children. The daughter was 4 and my son was 2. It was not fair for them to grow up with father working in London. So I gave up my career to be with my husband and the 2 children. So from there, I actually, my daughter went to a school in London. And she enjoyed going to school so much. On weekends, she would put on uniform, wanted to go to school. Then when I told her that the school was closed on weekend, she couldn't go, she was so disappointed. So I went to the school to be a parent volunteer, because school was never fun. It was like a pressure cook experience for me. So I went to the school, and I just realized the learning experience is so different. Children enjoy learning. Teacher will squat down, talk to children. So when we came back, my daughter wanted a school just like the one she attended in UK. And because of her inspiration, and also my family members' encouragement, we set up EtonHouse.
Well, there aren't many parents who decide to set up their own school because the daughter wants one. But anyway.
Yes, we started with 35 children. And being an accountant, to say, I have never exposed and never worked one day as teacher. There are a lot of challenges running school. And what I did was I went to education center to learn more about early childhood education. Then I had also need to do a practicum to teach in the classroom. And I remember the first day I was in the classroom, I was wearing a red beautiful skirt with a lot of buttons. And then this group of students said, "Teacher, come here, look at my beautiful artwork." And another group of teacher come there. At the end, all my buttons were gone, and I was exhausted. I went back, I lied down on the sofa. So I said, because I was only giving teacher limited 21 days. Because when I was an accountant, I could never consume all my 21 days leave. And I know teacher all have 10 weeks leave. I said, too much, so we'll cut it down. And after that, I said, teacher, yes, then you need to have 10 weeks leave to recharge your battery.
So you've got about 10 schools in Singapore, but you've been setting up schools overseas. What have been the challenges, specifically in China, in terms of setting up schools? And you've done so in several provinces.
I think the challenge is always finding the right people to run the business, finding also the right people who want to go to China. And as far as China is concerned, a lot of places is like a hardship posting, in particular the second-tier cities. And the other thing is also the mindset of the staff running the business. I always share with our educator when they come to EtonHouse at the induction course, I always say we need to build a sustainable business. And to build a sustainable business, the school itself has to generate surplus. Educator, they don't like to hear the word profit, so we use the word surplus. You have to generate surplus for the business to be sustainable. And I say surplus is like oxygen. We need to breathe oxygen every day. School need to generate surplus for it to be sustainable. And we also, so the hardest thing is to find the right people who want to go to China, and then also to be a manager, to learn how to operate the budget, to make sure that, over the period of time, we ensure there's quality in education. At the same time, we generate healthy surplus for the school to be sustainable. And the third challenge is cultural differences. A group of expatriate teachers working in China, there are always challenges. Once I always share with them, you have to realize that you are in China. You're not in UK, you're not in Australia, you're not in Singapore. Realizing that you're in China, and then learn to be patient. And I say patient, and be patient. And after a period of time, I think they will be less frustrated.
There must be the potential for phenomenal growth within China, but are you just taking it step by step? Or?
Yes, I think important thing is that we have to do our job well first before we expand. So the first 4 years, we focus on one school. We focus on a school in Suzhou, and we did it so well. The school has a long waiting list. The Suzhou government realized that in order to attract foreign investor into the city, they need to have international school. So they trust us and they ask us to run the international school.
Why is it that you haven't tackled the top tier cities in China?
When we first went into China, I was very determined. I want to do international school. And for international school, I look at top tier city. There are so many international schools. I don't think they need us. Then I decided I should go to second tier cities, where the government give us a lot of incentives, a lot of support. To run business in China, if there is no support from government, it is very, very difficult. So we go to those cities where the government support us. And in the second tier cities, in order to attract foreign investors, the government need to have an international school. So all these second tier cities, the government will even build the school, give us financial incentive to set up school. And we find that it's easier to penetrate into that market. But having said that, of course, we are still looking for opportunity to penetrate into the first tier city.
And the Suzhou connection was through the Singapore government's connection, was it?
Singapore government has a Suzhou Industry Park. And Suzhou Industry Park started 15 years ago. And Suzhou, there's a new district. Actually, we met somebody. We met a Chinese businessman. He owned a school, and we did a holiday camp for them so well. And he invited us to set up a school. The Singapore government has been very supportive in terms of penetrating into other cities. They help us. IE Singapore has been most supportive, introduced us to prospective partners. When we are issued, they help us to link us up to the relevant department, and that has been most useful for Singaporeans. So we go to cities where IE Singapore has presence and there are officers there, and we go to office where we find that they need us and where the government support us. If we go to the city, we find that it is difficult and government will not support or will not quite welcome us. We rather say we wait until we find a suitable occasion or at the right time when you find that they will support us, they will give us a lot of incentive.
Has one of the main challenges been the quality issue, making sure that you've got the same sort of quality across all schools?
Yes, I think quality is always our concern. When we expand, when we do business. So we have a EtonHouse Education Center. We have pedagogists. The pedagogist's job is just to look at how best children learn, to support the teachers in terms of how they run the school. So we find that this system has been very effective because in the school there's a principal. The principal will look at this how students learn, and the principal will do appraisal on the teachers, and this will go down to the personnel file. Pedagogy's job is to work with teachers. If the teacher has weakness in classroom management skill, they probably wouldn't reveal that to their principal, but they will share with the pedagogist. Whatever they work with pedagogy, it's not in their personnel file. It's work together to improve. So this is the way how we ensure quality.
Do you see yourself as an educationalist or an entrepreneur?
I would say both. I think there must be a balance. I think if you're driven primarily, on education, you need to be balanced in terms of bottom line. I dare not say I'm an educationalist, but I invest in educationalists and get the best people, get the expert, get someone who are passionate to run the school. I think that has made us very special, very unique, and very successful.
Now your daughter's going into education as well. Are you hoping that she'll follow you into EtonHouse?
I always think that education business should be run professionally. And whoever runs the business is not important. I think it can be somebody. And the fear of family members running the business is because of love. And love, you love somebody, and then you let somebody run the business. If there's someone is not suitable, you will not remove someone in the family. So it's very dangerous if you appoint your immediate family members to run the business. And that's why a lot of Chinese business, it wouldn't go beyond third generation. Typically, the grandfather started the business, hand over to the son, and the son hand over to the grandson. The grandson may not be passionate about the business. So if my daughter is passionate, who I think, that she can run the school, she will be one of the candidates that should be considered. But on the other hand, I don't think, we should restrict the choice of successor to her. I think she has to choose what she likes to do. And then I think among the management, we also need to choose that whether she's the right person. If there's another one who is capable, who can run the business, I think we should let somebody who can run the business. And I think our business should be run professionally.
Ng Gim Choo, founder of EtonHouse International Schools. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.